Hey, how's it amazing people? Welcome to Data and AI with Clarence. Today we're talking about data science and a data scientist. So we're gonna define what a data scientist is and what data science is. Then we're gonna look at the skills that a data scientist should actually have and the tools that they actually are using or should be using, right? And we're also going to clearly define what exactly a data scientist does in their day-to-day basis, and then we're going to end off by looking at the certifications that a data scientist actually needs or should be doing in order to upskill themselves within the space of data science. So let's get into it. Great, so now let's define what a data scientist is. But before we understand what a data scientist is, I think let's try to define what is data science, right? So data science is basically a multidisciplinary field that uses scientific methods, mathematics, statistics, and machine learning models in order to extract meaningful insights from both structured and unstructured data, right? And then the data scientist is the professional who then uses this scientific methods, mathematics and statistics, machine learning models to extract meaningful insights from structured data and non-structured data, basically. Okay, now that we understand what a data scientist is, let's try to understand what exactly a data scientist does. And I think the best way to understand what exactly data scientist does is looking at the data science life cycle. When you look at the data science life cycle, the first part of the life cycle is basically to define the problem and make sure that the problem aligns with what the business or the client actually needs. So here, as a data scientist, what you need to do is to understand what problem you're trying to solve and see if the solution that you're bringing actually aligns with what the business wants or what the client actually wants, right? Then the second part is the data collection. So now that you know what problem you're solving, you need to collect data that you can actually use for you to get those answers that the client would like to see, basically. And then the third part of that is the data cleaning or data preparation. Now that you have the data, you've collected it from different sources, you need to clean the data in such a manner that it is usable for your models training and model building, basically, right? So now that you have cleaned your data, you need to explore your data. So data exploration is basically trying to understand or gain insights from what your data is and what your data actually carries. So this is very valuable in order for you to understand what sort of insights can you derive from this data. So you do this through like exploring the data, doing certain things that allow you to get more insights on the data that you have, basically. And I think the next step from that, once you've explored your data and you understand it, it is now time for you to build this machine learning model. So you need to build the models and also train them on the data, right? So this involves you choosing the correct model that should be used for the data training, and this is also based on the problem that you actually define, right? So you define the problem that you're trying to solve, and the type of machine learning model that you use would basically depend on the problem that you're basically trying to solve, right? So now that you've built and you've been training your model, it is time to assess your model. So then the next step is obviously assessing your model. So when you assess your model, you check if the model is basically giving you the answers that you are expecting to get based on the data that you would have used to basically train it. So this allows you to assess whether that model still needs further training or it is actually ready to be moved into production, right? And once you've assessed your model, you then move the model into production. Now, moving the model into production, this means that you are putting the model into an environment of the client or the business where it can get access to new data and make those decisions. You can extract insights from the new data based on however you would have trained it, right? Then I would say the second last phase, that would be monitoring, basically. So obviously your model is in the environment, right? And you just need to make sure that is it doing what it should be doing? If there's any failures or anything like that, that's where the last phase of actually maintenance comes. So you need to continuously update your model if there's a need based on however it's been reacting when you check on how basically the model is predicting, or is the client feeling happy with how the model is performing. So that's where the maintenance part actually comes into play. So in summary, that is exactly what a data sort of like scientist would do. So sometimes, depending on the size of the company, you'd find that the data scientist is not involved in like the data collection or the data cleaning. So they might be part of the team, but it is not their responsibility to gather data from all those different data sources. You could find that they have a data engineer assisting them in gathering the data analysts are assisting with also cleaning the data, and they come in mostly on the phase of the data modeling and training of the machine learning models themselves. So this is all dependent on the size of the company. So the bigger the company, then the less you're involved in all the other steps basically. But then the smaller the company, the more you have to do all of that basically. So in a nutshell, that is what a data scientist would basically do. Okay, great. So now let's look at the tools and skills that you need to have in order for you to be a data scientist or as a data scientist, right? So data scientists need to have a very good background in programming. It's very important for you to have an understanding of Python, R, and SQL. I'd say very important for you to have an understanding on Python and R. SQL also is very important because how are you gonna get your data if you can't query data from databases, right? However, I strongly feel like that Python and R are very, very important for you as a data scientist. So those are very important programming language that you find. I find that most data scientists prefer Python over R. So it depends on like where you're mostly skilled in and what your organization actually requires and the tools that the organization is using, right? Secondly, I'd say statistics. So like having a good background in statistics is very important for you as a data scientist, because data science is a lot of stats. Like there's a lot of statistical analysis in data science, and you having that background in statistics is very good, and it would allow you to be a good sort of like data scientist. And data visualization is actually another one. So data scientists tend to have not too much of a good data and visualization skills, but I'd say you need to have good data visualization skills as opposed to data analysts that are very good at like data vision, as opposed to the data scientists. But having that skill of like getting visual insights from your data, whether you're using a matplotlib or anything like that, data visualization is also very important. And it's having an understanding of the big data tools and technologies, right? So Hadoop is very important if you're going to be a data scientist, because that's a big data sort of like tool. So if wherever there's big data, you're probably going to hear about Hadoop. And recently, like with the growth of cloud computing and cloud technologies, having an understanding of AWS or Azure is very good for you as a sort of like data scientist, because if your organization is mostly using Azure, there's obviously machine learning tools and resources within that environment that you need to be good at and be able to utilize. And if the company is using AWS, you need to also have the skills and understanding of those tools in order for you to navigate properly as a data scientist. So those are the big things for me. So good understanding of programming. So this would obviously be in the space of Python, R, SQL also, and good statistics background, very important. It's going to make your life very easy as a data scientist. And also understanding these emerging big data tools that are being used. Those are some of the skills and tools that you'd actually need to have. And in most cases, you'd be using like Python libraries and frameworks like I know there's pandas, matplotlib is also one of them. So having an understanding of these tools and frameworks can help you manage your role as a data scientist. So for me, I think those are the top things that you need. Those are the top tools and skills that you need to have in order for you to be a data scientist or be a data scientist. You're probably wondering what certifications can you do in order for you to become a data scientist or to upskill yourself as a data scientist already working in the professional space. Well, obviously there is certifications out there that you can use to basically upskill yourself and get more understanding within the space. So the first one is the Certified Analytics Professional. So this certification basically covers all the topics within the data science lifecycle. So from cleaning data, preparing the data, and from building data models, basically. So all of that is covered within the certificate. However, this specific certification requires you to have about 3 to 7 years experience within the field of data science, and you obviously need to have a bachelor's degree in order for you to qualify for the certification. And there's another certification that's offered by SAS, so it's called the SAS Data Scientist Professional. So the SAS Data Scientist Professional introduces you to like data management, data visualization, and machine learning using the SAS tools. However, with this certification, in order for you to qualify for writing the exam, you need to have completed the SAS Big Data Professional Certificate. And the third certificate is the IBM Data Scientist Certificate. So with this one, you learn things on Python, data visualization, basically using the tools that are provided by IBM, right? And then the last two, very important, this would be the Microsoft Certified Data Scientist Certificate. So I'm actually currently doing that certification myself. So this specific certification, basically what it does is that it enables you to use the Azure platform to basically build, train machine learning models. We have came to the end of the video, and I hope by now you understand what is data science and what exactly a data scientist is, what do they do, and what skills do you need in order for you to become a data scientist. And in terms of upskilling, I hope you know what certifications you should consider or should be doing in order for you to become a data scientist or even be a better data scientist, right? So this is the end of our video. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you got meaning from this video. So please like, subscribe, and share this video so that other people can find the video. Thank you.